Alrighty guys, what's up? Matt Dillon here. Today we're going to be running through my supplement stack. So everything that I'm taking at the moment and everything I was taking during prep and now moving into my off season. And a lot of this is also provided to me via my new sponsor, Emerald Labs. So we're going to be chatting a little bit about that. So before we start, some of this stuff has been sponsored to me. I did get it from Emerald Labs for free, but it is all stuff that I purchased and used myself beforehand. So I was purchasing a lot of Emerald Labs products prior to me being sponsored by them. They're a company I believe in greatly, and I've constantly used their products for, I think, just about 6 months consistently now, and prior to that, when they first came onto the market. So I'm a big believer in Emerald Labs, and I'm super excited to be working with them. So a lot of this stuff I did also pay for myself prior to working with them. It's stuff I've had for quite a while and used for quite a while. So without further ado, let's get straight into things. So let's start off with the food supplements I take. So we've got standard cream of rice here. Main difference between the Emerald Labs cream of rice and cream of rice that you would get, say, from the supermarket or Amazon or anything like that is, to be honest, the main difference is the taste. They have this key lime pie flavor that I've been having, and also apple cinnamon flavor I have, which is away in my cupboard, which I haven't opened up yet, but I've had prior, and that is also quite good. It just tastes better than regular cream of rice. It's quite calorie friendly. It's got 4 grams of protein and 38 grams of carb per scoop. So obviously I didn't use this during prep, but I used it in my off season prior to prep. And I plan on using it again, moving into my off season, moving forward now, when my carbs get a little bit higher and it's harder to get those in. So I want easier things to eat, like cream of rice. And if I'm gonna be eating cream of rice, I want it to taste good. So big fan of that cream of rice, highly recommend it. This is something I will use consistently in my plan. Now, onto the big controversial one, which is protein powder. So protein powder, I used in my last off season, especially towards the end of the day, I found it a lot easier to have 2 scoops of protein powder at the end of my day. I don't, however, believe in taking protein powder consistently. So my goal for this off season is to not consistently have protein powder within my diet plan. I'm a big believer in getting full benefits from whole foods, vitamins, minerals, all that sort of stuff that you get from whole foods as well. There's just a different quality and muscle that's built between obviously someone that builds it with a lot of protein shakes and supplements and someone that builds it with real whole food. However, for anyone that does choose to have protein powder consistently, and generally I would say that's anyone that struggles with appetite or they struggle with the convenience of eating. So, if you're a very hands-on worker, you're on your feet all day, you can't really afford to sit down and waste 15 minutes eating a meal, protein powder is great for that as well. So that was a lot of what I used it for in my last off season as well, pre-prep. I would, if I'm at work and I don't have time to stop and have a meal 15, 30 minutes, however long it took me to eat, it would be really easy for me to have a protein shake while I'm with clients, on my feet in the gym, whenever it may be, or if I'm driving around a lot, really easy to just sip on a protein shake while I drive. The Emerald Lab stuff tastes fucking awesome. It's probably one of the greatest protein powders I've had in terms of flavor all around across every single flavor they sell. It's one of those things where it's Emerald Labs at its worst, like the flavor I would enjoy the least, beats the best of pretty much any other brand in terms of taste. It just tastes so genuinely as whatever they've advertised it over. This cookies and cream one is my personal favorite. I put the shit in with literally everything. Post-show, one of the things I was most looking forward to was literally just having Emerald Labs cookies and cream protein powder because it just tastes that fucking awesome. Standard stuff in terms of calories and macros. A lot of protein powders have fillers in them so that they can advertise higher protein without actually having that much raw protein in it. Emerald Labs is not like that. So it's a great quality protein overall, a great taste, and it's also a relatively affordable protein. They sell these smaller bags as well. So if you're unsure about taste, you can get a smaller bag. That's what I did. I bought, it was like one of every flavor in a small bag. And they also do sell samples as well on the Emerald Labs site. So if you want, you can buy a box and they give you a single serve sachet of every single one of the flavors. So if you maybe wanted to do that before trying it out. So who's gonna benefit the most from protein powder? People that can't eat properly, and whether that be a short-term or a long-term issue, whether it be appetite, you're pushing your food really hard, you're eating a lot of meals, and towards the end of the day, it's more manageable to get a protein shake in. Or short-term, maybe you've had wisdom teeth removal, tonsillitis, you just can't eat whole foods, you can't get them down. Protein powder is great for them. For the majority of people, I would say not to be having it consistently. For sick, illness, anything like that, great use, but I would not have protein powder overly consistently unless you are really at the peak of your bulk. The other thing it is great for though is cooking it in with food. I'm a big believer in cooking with protein powder. The Emerald Lab stuff cooks fucking awesomely, so I highly recommend it for that. If you like to make protein pancakes or something in the morning, because again, you don't want to be eating steak first thing in the morning at 6 a.m. Emerald Labs protein powder is a go for that. I do approve of that. I approve of having that sort of whole foods. I don't have any mass gainer with me because I don't use mass gainer, but same principle applies to mass gainer. I would not say no one should be using mass gainer consistently. Mass gainer is shit, I forgot to prep my food and I need a meal replacement because I have to leave for work in 2 minutes, or shit, I'm sick and I'm vomiting up everything I'm eating. How am I gonna get my calories in? I need mass gainer. Or shit, I just had all 4 of my wisdom teeth removed. I can't eat whole foods. How am I gonna get 3,500 calories in? Mass gainer. The only time in my life I've ever had a mass gainer was when I had my wisdom teeth removed and I couldn't eat whole foods. Which is why I don't have one on me now, because I'm completely capable of eating whole foods. Moving on. So this is my pre-cardio fat burner stack. I'm not going super crazy with this at the moment because I'm not on prep, but I will use it still, just not as intensely because I'm doing obviously a lot less cardio, but this was something I lived and died by on prep. So every morning on prep, I would wake up and I'd have a black coffee, and then I would have some pre-shred, which is the pre-workout fat burner Emerald Labs Cell. I would have 3 grams, which is 3 scoops of L-tyrosine, which is great for mood, aerobic, general fat burning, and is overall just a great supplement. And 1 scoop of creatine. You can never have too much creatine at this stage. Standard fat burner, it's gonna make you sweat more, it's gonna make you thermogenic, make you burn a slightly better base rate of calories. General rule of thumb with fat burners is unless you're doing everything else right, you're not gonna see the benefits from them. So I don't wanna see anyone buying the pre-shred and then eating like an asshole and then complaining they're not losing weight, because that's not how fat burners work. Fat burners work in the sense of my diet's perfect, I'm well hydrated, my sleep is great, my training is great, I'm following a strict regime, and this is the extra push, and that's when you'll see the result from the fat burners. So this is something I took every morning during prep, and I take it pre-cardio still now, just to sweat a little bit more. I'm very prone to water retention. It helps a huge deal for me. And then also, just as a base pre-workout, it's quite nice as well. Has all the same benefits, same compounds and everything as a general pre-workout, gets the job done. I've been having the bubblegum grape flavor. This is what I had on prep. It was my favorite tasting thing of the day. Second favorite actually, after my pre-weights pre-workout, which we'll get into in a little bit. But the best part of my morning in terms of flavor, tastes fucking sick, super calorie friendly. It's only 14 calories per scoop. No sugars or anything in it, just artificially flavored. Gets the job done. So this is what I had every morning of prep. Cool, onto the pre-workout stack now. So this is post-cardio pre-workout, which is what I was doing on prep. Just for reference, that fat burning stack on prep, I was only having in the morning. I wasn't having it during my evening cardio. So I've got my pre-pump, non-stim pre-workout. Good for the days where I'm training in the evenings and I'm feeling mentally wired on, don't really want pre-workout, just want to get the blood flowing. Got the job done, always gave me a nice pump, standard pump formula, made the pump last longer as well. Standard stuff, really nice. I go for the unflavored one because generally I'll mix it in with something else, whether it be EAAs, BCAAs, just like flavoring for water from Woolies or Coles, diet soda, literally anything. So I go for the unflavored option for that. Also, because I might want to stack it up with some extra stuff. You know, if I want to put extra citrulline in or extra taurine in, I will. So that's why I go for the unflavored. In terms of actual stimulant pre-workout, preload is, again, what I use for pretty much all of my prep. I just find it consistently hits me the same way every time. I react the same way to it every time, feel the same amount every time. I have the Honeydew Melon, I believe. Honeydew Melon flavor. The first time I had this, I spent like a month looking for it online because I thought it was some sort of apple flavor because I thought it tasted appley. But I was so obsessed with and hooked with this during my prep. It got to the stage where I was paying for a scoop from it from my gym where they sell it. Every pre-workout religiously, multiple scoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, just in separate like servings, just because it tasted so insanely good. This could have just been flavored water and I still would have paid full price for it. I do not exaggerate when I say this is my favorite tasting supplement that I've ever had in my life. This is an S tier supplement, just on terms of flavor. In terms of performance, gave me some nice beta-alanine tingles, gave me a nice pump, had me pretty mentally zoned in. I wasn't distracted, wasn't looking at my phone or anything. Did a really nice job and I've consistently had the same result from it, so I'm really, really happy with it. I've also had the Icy Pole flavor, that was also fantastic, and I also had the bubblegum grape preload flavor. So pre-shred, fat burner, preload, standard pre-workout. Next up, I've got my taurine. Sometimes I like to add just taurine to things. So if I'm gonna have my pump formula, but I want a bit more mental focus, I'll take taurine. I might just have taurine in diet soda. I might have taurine in with EAAs or BCAAs. Just for if I don't want actual stim pre-workout or pump pre-workout, and I just want to have a little bit of mental focus and nothing else. I have the taurine, also great on prep for if I was having cramps as well, whether it be from dehydration, water loading, too much salt, not enough salt, whatever it may be. Taurine got the job done. I am a pretty big believer in having the individual compounds from pre-workouts as well, so I can add and take things out as I please. So taurine, and obviously I had the L-tyrosine earlier with my pre-shred. I also have some citrulline and whatnot. I'm just out of that at the moment. I need to order some more. And then I would also put another extra scoop or two of creatine in with the pre-workout as well. Again, you can just never have too much creatine unless you've had your bloods done and your creatine is crazy high. I had creatine on and off for the first 6 years of my training. And then when I got blood work done to check my health, my creatine was like 8 times the normal amount. And that was from taking creatine inconsistently for 6 years. And I mean like a month on, a month off, 2 months on, 6 months off. To be honest, after taking it for 8 years, the only main thing I noticed with creatine is I'm really strong on my reps 3 through 4. Like reps 3 through 4 will fly on a squat or a bench press. And then 5 and 6, it will start to slow down, but I'm still quite strong through my rep ranges. It's just one of those things, it adds 1% more. If you can afford it, why not take it? You know, supplements overall are a luxury, but even if they're gonna make 1% of a difference, that's the 1% I wanna have on my side. So that's the pre-workout stack. Non-stim pre-workout, stim pre-workout, taurine and creatine, and occasionally as well, if I am training in the morning, I might put some tyrosine in. Just depends how I feel. So this is the big one for me, the sleep stack. I am a terrible sleeper. Can't fall asleep, can't stay asleep, don't feel tired, whatever it may be. These are I use all of these religiously, and I refuse to go to bed unless I've taken all of them. So standard melatonin prescription, 10 milligrams of melatonin every night. To be honest, at this stage, we're not doing anything. I've probably built an insane tolerance, but I still take it every night. 3 capsules of ZMA, zinc and magnesium. Good for deep sleep, good for relaxing, good for your muscles, vitamin, minerals. Again, there's no reason to not take it. It's just, all it's gonna do is benefit you. Sleep gummies, a huge compilation of extracts, roots, all the basic stuff. It's got some GABA in there. They taste fucking awesome. I think I'm meant to have 3. I've been having like 6 or 9. As you can see, it's like half empty. I love my sleep gummies. It's the best part of ending my day is I get to chew on these really tasty blueberry flavored gummies. Standard sleep aid as well. Again, all basic stuff. It is just over-the-counter supplements at the end of the day. But this one is the make or break, the GABA. And obviously I've made the video on GABA previously. I have found, so this is kind of a follow-up to that video, that now that I'm a lot fuller, now that I'm moving into my bulk post-show up, and that I'm finishing my health phase and I've got more in my stomach more consistently, I'm not as hungry, I don't quite get by with 1 scoop. So I have the recently 9 sleep gummies, which is 750 milligrams of GABA. And then I have a scoop of this, which is 3 grams. And I've been having about a scoop and a half. So that's, or a heaping scoop, 5 grams of GABA, just on 5 to 6 grams of GABA, 3 ZMA, 1 10 milligram melatonin, and 1 scoop of the sleep aid. I found recently this knocks me out. I get to the stage where I don't actually want to stay up working or playing games or watching anime or watching TV or whatever it may be. I just want to go to sleep, and that's what I need, because otherwise I will not want to go to sleep, and I won't. It also helps me stay asleep, so unless I have to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, I have a full unconscious, what I like to call a really efficient night's sleep. So in terms of efficiency, you know, if you're having 9 hours in bed, but you're waking up every 30 minutes, that's not an efficient night's sleep, because you know, you've only actually had 4.5 hours of sleep to 9 hours in bed. So I might only spend 6-7 hours in bed, but for those 6-7 hours, I am knocked out cold in deep sleep. And again, for all the natural athletes, including myself, your deep sleep is the most important thing, because that's when your hormones are releasing, that's when your muscle is repairing and recovering. You can never have too much sleep, especially as a natural athlete. So GABA, sleep gummies, ZMA, melatonin, and sleep aid. Huge believer in all of these. If there is one supplement stack you should be taking, it is a sleep stack, especially if you're a bad sleeper. If you're a great sleeper, don't worry about a sleep stack. You don't need it. I'd still recommend GABA though. Fantastic. You can never sleep too well. But for the majority of people, especially the majority of lifters, gym rats, athletes, whatever you want to call yourself, sleep is generally a struggle, and I would say a sleep stack is a must. Again, it's all relatively affordable. A lot of it's new to the market. Sleep aid and GABA are quite affordable. I think ZMA is a little bit on the pricier side. If you were budgeting, stick to sleep aid and GABA is my recommendation. Melatonin is obviously going to be subject to where you live. Can you buy it over the counter? Do you need a prescription? Whatever it may be. So this is the box of protein samples that I mentioned previously. So it comes with 6 sachets. You get cookies and cream, vanilla cream, chocolate, cereal milk, salted caramel, and strawberries and cream. So if you did want to try the Emerald Labs protein powder out and you didn't want to order a full bag, you can buy one of these boxes on the site, give it a try out, see how you find it, see if there's a flavor you like or don't like. So far in my experience, out of all 6 of those flavors, I fucking love all of them. Again, cookies and cream is my favorite. That is the one I would recommend. I highly recommend it. If you were to place an Emerald Labs order, the go-to supplements I would recommend would be your GABA. I would grab a box of protein to try out. If you do use protein powder, I recommend it. They also have a whey protein isolate version, and they also have a vegan version. However, I haven't tried either of those, so I can't give any sort of recommendation for those, but I've just been having the 100% whey recently. GABA, whey protein isolate, obviously creatine. You can't go wrong with your creatine. Everyone should be having creatine at this stage. Everyone knows enough about creatine. I don't have to go into detail on what it does or how it works. Just take a scoop or 2 a day consistently. And if you miss one serving of creatine, it's not going to kill you. If you miss even a week's worth of creatine, it's not going to kill you. These are the 3 I would obviously recommend. Number 1, if you want to ball out a little bit more, go crazy, maybe you can afford your supplements, I would add in some preload or pre-shred. Again, bubblegum grape and the honeydew melon are the flavors I've been having. I highly recommend those. So guys, that is my full stack from Emerald Labs. If you do want to check out the Emerald Labs products, you can do so on their website. There is a link to it down in the description. If you do decide to purchase anything from Emerald Labs, use code MATT for 15% off. Again, I am affiliated with these guys. I believe hugely in them. I absolutely love all of their products. And once I move into my off season, I will be coming back to revise this video because I plan on using more of their things moving forward. There is not a single product on their site that I don't really believe in. If I didn't believe in them as a company, I would not be working with them. I had a lot of companies approach me, especially throughout my prep and as my media started to grow recently, and I refused a lot of them. Emerald Labs was the first one where they reached out, and I was genuinely excited because it was a company I've always wanted to work with. So Emerald Labs, link down below. Highly recommend. If you want to just grab some samples of things, use code MATT for 15% off. Remember, there is my online coaching down below as well. So if you do want to be coached by me to get a bit more of an insight into how I run things as a coach and get some more recommendations on things I don't necessarily provide intel to online on my Instagram or my YouTube or my TikTok, the link to my website for online coaching is down below as well. Otherwise, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know anything else you want to see down in the comments. We will be revisiting this again in the future once I build my stack up a little bit more, which I'm really excited to do now I'm working with Emerald Labs. And otherwise, guys, I will see you in the next video.